Okay, here we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of So I Heard You Like Movies, the show where we talk about movies. Nick isn't with me today, but we have a new host, not replacing Nick, but in addition to the trio. If you hear stuff behind me, if you hear stuff in the background, my neighbor is like cutting down trees or something. Sorry about that. But we have a new addition to the trio, which is great, just like the wrestling podcast. If one of us couldn't make it, like Nick can't make it today, we can still record. His name's Andrew. Hi, Andrew. How are you?
How you doing, everyone? So glad to be here. Can't wait to tell you guys about what I think about some movies.
All right, so Andrew, the format of this show is one of the three of us, each week will introduce some news, and then we'll just talk about it, what we think about it, whatever. We can be brief, it can be long, who knows. Then we go into the reviewing of the movie that we saw, that we all saw this week, and then after that we talk about just other things that we're doing, like video games we've been playing, books we've been reading, etc., etc. So let's start it off with some news. Have you seen the Paranormal Activity movies?
I saw the first couple of the series. I'm not gonna lie, they didn't keep me coming, but I felt like it was kind of getting a little old after a bit. But
Well, I have great news for you because I know how much you just said you love them. There's a reboot soon. I haven't read the article. I just saw the headline. I didn't have time to look up news. I'll put my phone on silent, huh? Nick can't be here because he was can't whatever. We usually record on Sunday. It's Saturday right now. Tomorrow is Canadian Thanksgiving, so yeah. Oh well. So it's going to have. Well, I'm trying to read the article as I'm saying the news. I don't see any dates. Anyways, it's in works. It's coming soon. I don't care. I think these movies went on way too long. Way long. They should have stopped after not being made.
now, did you actually see all of them?
I started watching the first one and I just got so bored of it. I was like, I can't finish this. I'm not gonna.
See, I actually enjoyed the first one. I thought it actually had some genuine chills to it, but then I felt like the same theme over and over. I mean, sooner or later, yeah, there's something happening. Nobody knows who it is.
Mm-hmm.
There's some devil there. Okay, same thing over and over.
Yeah, that's exactly my feeling. And my biggest thing with horror movies is if the only thing that's keeping me scared is just a whole bunch of jump scares, it's not a good horror movie. You got to have something other than that. Something like first off, they're boring because the writing is awful in all of those movies, and such a great horror movie because not only were they the characters, you were invested in the characters, you were actually worried about the characters and what happened to them. They had a great dynamic. The story was great. The clown itself was scary, not just the fact that he would pop out every now and then. Like, he himself was scary.
Yeah.
So, do that.
Yeah.
I mean,
You definitely need some type of a story behind it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That can
Absolutely.
wrap you into the characters and not just that, like you said, that jump out scare every once in a while.
But with that, I don't think they're going to do that. So I think it's just going to be awful again.
Yeah,
So,
I can imagine it's probably going to be the same thing. Just again, I'm curious to even hear what the plot is for the movie.
I'm going to say somebody's house is haunted is the plot, and they set up cameras to catch the ghosts on camera. I think that's.
It could just be somebody's car. Maybe he's driving cross country and his car's just haunted, and spooky stuff keeps happening.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, hey, that would be better than what they were definitely going to do with it. You like Justice League?
I do.
So, are you excited for Justice League?
I am. I'm pretty excited for Justice League. I'm happy to see DC, following the trend of Marvel and trying to bring everything together.
I grew up on DC Comics, so the fact that there's going to be a Justice League movie on the big screen, it's just my little 7-year-old heart is just it's about to burst right now. But how do you feel about the tonal change? So did you hear what happened with the director?
I did.
Okay,
not.
so Zack Snyder was directing Justice League, and some family stuff happened, but he decided he was going to go through with directing. Eventually, it got to be too much for him, so Joss Whedon stepped in and reshot some scenes and finished up the movie basically. So there's also a tonal shift of the movie, so it's going to be a bit more lighthearted than the other DC movies were.
Yep.
I don't think it's going to be like a Guardians of the Galaxy style lighter tone, but
Okay,
I don't think it's going to be dark and everyone's going to be all sad all the time.
I was gonna say that when you first said that, it made me a little worried because I feel like that's actually part of my appeal to DC over Marvel. Is
Really?
that they are a little darker.
They are.
Whereas Marvel's like, oh, go happy, the whole town gets destroyed, but nobody dies.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be everyone's all smiles and rainbows. I think it's just going like. I do like the darker tone, and I think it works for certain characters. It doesn't work for Superman.
Yeah.
It didn't work for me in Man of Steel. Didn't work for Superman for me in Batman vs Superman. But for Batman, of course that darker tone works. For Wonder Woman, that darker tone doesn't work.
Yep.
That's why that movie wasn't so dark. With a character like the Flash, his character won't be dark. It'll have dark moments in it because he has a pretty dark past. But
Yep.
then Cyborg will probably have a darker tone just because of all the stuff that he had to go through, like his father neglecting him essentially until right up to the very end when he couldn't save him. There's you had to go character to character, but the Justice League movie, I have a quote here, an exclusive quote from Ben Affleck that I got off Screen Rant. He said, Justice League is a big change tonally because you have all the personalities of all these different characters coming together, and it gives you a chance to infuse a lot of humor into the scenes, which I completely agree with.
Yes, well, I'm definitely excited to see that. I know I did go see. I have seen the start of it, which is Batman versus Superman, and then obviously Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm.
So
Suicide Squad.
I did see Suicide Squad. Suicide. I didn't realize the Suicide Squad actually playing any type of role in the movie.
No, not. I don't think they're not going to be in Justice League, but they're part of the universe.
Yeah.
So, what did you think of Wonder Woman?
I really liked Wonder Woman.
So good.
Yeah, I heard a couple people say they didn't like it as much, which I don't really understand.
But did they tell you why?
To be honest, I can't remember why.
Okay.
What their argument was.
Here's what I find when there's been a male-dominated anything in some sort of media, like video games or movies or TV shows or whatever, and then you have a female lead in that. If that female lead is not the best out of all the other ones, it's not good, which doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
like there's a female as Doctor Who right now. The Doctor is now a female in the upcoming season. Since every other Doctor has been a male, if this female it does not have the best season out of all 20 plus seasons of Doctor Who, then it's not good, which doesn't make any sense. It doesn't have to be the best, and I think that's why a lot of people is judging Wonder Woman so harshly because they feel it needs to be better than all of the other movies for it to be a good movie.
Yeah, they're gonna compare it to Captain America.
You can compare it to Captain America. I think Wonder Woman and Captain America are about the same level.
Exactly.
The movie are about the same level.
Yep.
Where both movies I feel fall apart in the third act. They were good up until the third act where it was kind of just over the top and too much and whatever.
Yeah.
Typical big budget stuff. But when it comes to Captain America and Winter Soldier, that is probably my favorite superhero movie. Wonder Woman didn't surpass that for me, but I still love Wonder Woman.
Yeah, and also, that wasn't the first movie for Captain America.
Well, no, you're right. No, you're absolutely right.
Much more to see, and we'll see where it goes.
You're absolutely right. Anyways, I'm. What else? I don't know what is up with my computer right now. Oh, something. Oh yeah. The actor for Cyborg, I can't remember his name, even though I know it.
I'm gonna be no help on that.
Was talking about how he and the Flash, Cyborg and the Flash, are gonna be like the best friends of the Justice League group, which makes sense. They're both like the two youngest members of the group, so it makes sense that they would click.
And if I remember right, they both have a pretty dark past in a sense.
Oh yeah,
to where they can relate.
They didn't see their fathers that much for separate reasons, but they each didn't see their father. They're also both incredibly smart. Barry just being smart, and Victor just being the internet.
Just kind of having that little advantage, but
so. They kind of, from what I'm reading here, it seems that the quote, I'm not going to quote it, but it seems that they kind of are learning, because they both got their powers relatively recently compared to the other members of the Justice League, so they're both kind of figuring out what they can do at the same time, so that helps them bond too, which I think is a really cool dynamic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. That's cool. I can't wait to see that on the big screen. I love Justice League with all my heart.
Yeah. When is the release day of that movie?
November 17th? November something. I know it's November something. I don't know the actual date. But we're going to see that. So Patty Jenkins had this isn't Justice League, but this is DC Cinematic Universe, DC Extended Universe, DC something news. Patty Jenkins really said she really likes working with Chris Pine. So we could possibly she's directing Wonder Woman 2. She's back for the sequel to Wonder Woman, so we could possibly see Steve Trevor again in Wonder Woman the sequel.
Well, that would be nice to see him again.
I hope they don't bring I hope it's like flashbacks or memories or something. I don't Man, as much as I love comic books, stop bringing people back. Let them die.
Yeah.
Don't.
I mean, we know why she's still there, but for him to still be there, I just feel like they're pushing it. Trying to.
And he had that moment. Man, he had such a great death in Wonder Woman, where he was flying the plane, and instead of him just immediately shooting the bomb to blow up the plane, he had a moment to process what he's about to do. He's like, "This is my last moments, no doubt. This is." And that hit me.
You're basically almost taking that away from him by him still be alive.
Exactly. And that's why bringing people back in comic books always is really sucky, because whenever they die, it's usually a sacrifice. So once you just bring them back, it's like, oh, they can just die again.
Yeah.
But whatever. That's a different topic for a different day. So that's it for DC news. Let's move on to. What other stuff I had? Oh, Marvel Comics. You like Marvel Comics?
I do.
Mark Ruffalo had a Facebook video of a huge photo shoot of pretty much every actor in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which is really cool.
That is awesome.
It's clearly for Infinity War, because that's after Thor. That's the next Marvel movie coming out.
Another thing I can't wait for.
Oh yeah. Man.
I'll probably end up actually rewatching all the movies before that.
All the movies?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god! How many?
That's what I did.
They're
before
15.
The last Avengers. So.
But the come on. There's significantly more.
It's not too much more. Maybe another.
Since Avengers 2,
12.
Since Avengers 2, we've had, I think, Guardians of the Galaxy, Spider-Man.
Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Guardians of the Galaxy 1 was before.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay, so Volume 2. Spider-Man: Homecoming. We're gonna have Thor: Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Ant-Man: Civil War.
Panther.
Black Panther. Oh yeah, I forgot about Black Panther. Hell yeah, I can't wait for Black Panther.
Yeah, that's not too far off either.
What else? I want to say there's like 1 or 2 other movies. So that's 7 to 8 movies since the last Avengers. Because Captain America was basically just another Avengers movie.
I think I can do it. I'll spend a weekend just nonstop watching Marvel.
Oh man.
But
then that's
48
there's
hours
been
straight
15 there's been 15 movies, 16 movies in the Marvel universe. There's going to be a couple more that come out before Infinity War come out.
Yep.
That's like a week's worth of movie right there.
Well, last time I did it all in one sitting.
But like I said, there was oh my god, one sitting?
Yeah.
He just peed in a bottle. He didn't even get up. Star Wars. How do you feel about Star Wars?
Who doesn't love Star Wars?
Man, there are some people who don't love Star Wars, and to those people, there are some people who genuinely just don't like. It's not their thing, and whatever. But there are some people who I feel don't like Star Wars just to not like Star Wars, and to those people, shut up. It's great.
It is.
Get over it.
Especially when you look at when Star Wars came out.
Oh yeah.
And how great those movies were, and how
just for the time
were made, and I mean,
absolutely.
Even if you didn't like Star Wars, you would have to at least look at that and say that that's amazing.
Appreciate Star Wars.
Yeah.
Anyways, J.J. Abrams is back directing Episode 9. He directed Episode 7. I forget who the director was for Episode 9 originally, but he left. They were looking for a new director. J.J. Abrams is back on, and John Boyega said that he is excited for it. He says he feels it's come full circle.
Yeah.
From the beginning of this trilogy. He doesn't know what the story is for episode 9. He doesn't know what's going to happen with Finn, what's going to happen with Rey, what's going to happen with Poe. He doesn't know any of those things, but he's excited. And he said, quote, I need to get some rest and gear up because we're doing another one of these movies, mate. He's British.
Mate.
Yeah, that's what'd you think about episode 7?
I mean, I thought episode 7 was great. I mean, it's been a long time since we've been waiting for it, and I really didn't. What am I trying to say here? my train of thought just went out the window. I'm sorry. But I mean, there were lots of things. I wasn't too big of a Star Wars fan way back when. It wasn't until actually up before episode 7 came out that I really went back and really watched them all. And I felt episode 7, I mean, they so well took everything from the previous movies and just brought it out.
I love episode 7. I feel like one thing that like remakes or sequels do, like sequels after a long time specifically, that they do is there's way too many callbacks to stuff. Like there's some stuff where it's just so blatantly obvious, and it's like, oh, remember these guys, or oh, remember this? Hey guys, remember this? I feel like there was a bit too much of that. There was some of it that I really enjoyed, and there was some really subtle things they did, but
I feel like they probably did that just because of how long they wanted to
right.
Grab all these people who watched all those first Star Wars movies, all the Star Wars way back, and they wanted to show them, oh, look, here's the people you remember right here.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but it's like, did you see Rogue One?
I did.
Like, remember the part where they were walking in that town and they bumped into the 2 guys from episode 4?
Yeah.
Okay, like, that was way too much. Like, you didn't need that. like, if there's a character, if you're calling back to a character and people don't, and people's initial reaction to that is, oh, look, it's those guys, don't put them in.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of feel opposite about that.
Yeah?
I actually enjoy that, being able to relate, especially when you have movies that were made at different times, but they're, happening at the same time in the storyline, that they show these characters that you remember to try to just help you kind of piece together exactly when this was happening or how this all ties together.
Okay, I get what you're saying, but at the same time, those 2 guys that were there were on a different planet. They're not on Tatooine in that scene. But later on in that scene, that planet blows up. So somehow those 2 guys were able to get on a ship and leave before the planet blows up.
Yeah, they got to make sure if they're going to do stuff like that, they really think it through and make sure it all makes sense and not just be like, oh, here's these 2 guys they're going to walk by and that's it, not really think too much about anything else afterwards or before.
Speaking of Harrison Ford, Blade Runner.
Oh, yep.
Blade Runner 2049 is the movie that we saw. But before we get into reviewing that, it's looking like it's a bomb. The movie. It was originally estimated to make $40 to $50 million domestically and about $40 to $50 million domestically and $100 million worldwide. For it to break even, it needs to gross $300 million worldwide. And right now, it's around $2.7 million. That's including the $4 million from Thursday previews.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty far off the mark.
Oh yeah. That's like if you're throwing a dartboard, like if you're throwing darts and then you turn in the opposite direction and then throw the dart and hope that it hits. That's rough.
That's wow, I didn't realize it did that bad.
Yeah. Like, I mean, it's we saw it today, Thursday, and there was not nearly as many people as I thought there would be. Like, when I went to go see it, I saw it on the Saturday. Did I say Thursday?
You did.
Okay. We saw it today on Saturday, and there wasn't nearly as many people as I thought there would be. I saw it on Saturday. Granted, I saw it at a different time, but it was packed when I saw it. Like, 3 seats open.
Yeah, no matter what, the first weekend, if it's a good movie, like if there's gonna be a lot of people going to see it, you're gonna see it the entire first weekend. That's
Oh
it.
yeah.
You know, it's not gonna just be the first day. It's you
Right.
know, it's gonna continue on throughout the weekend.
So, speaking of that, did you expect that news from after seeing the movie? Did you expect that?
I didn't expect it to be doing that bad. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it fell maybe a little bit below my expectations. Probably just because looking at the previews and just what I thought the movie was gonna be, I thought it would be a little more action and less of a, I don't want to say like a love
detective,
adventure.
like a detective type movie too.
So, I mean, that kind of threw me off. But it's not that I didn't enjoy that. It's just not what I expected.
Right.
I felt like they did a really great job to me, and I wouldn't even know what we were calling. We call them like slaves, or what was their actual title? Really?
Oh, the replicants.
Replicants? Is
yeah.
That, okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the replicants, I felt like they did a really great job at making the replicants feel like they weren't humans. Like, as I was watching, like, when they would just kill one of the other ones, I didn't feel like they were killing a person, which I thought was really important. Because obviously that was kind of the point. But then I also felt like they did a great job at making it to where the replicants almost were more human than the humans who created the replicants, in a sense of humanity, or you know,
absolutely
see as humanity. What would you think of it? I mean,
I didn't like it.
Really?
Oh my goodness, it felt so long to me.
Well, it was a long movie.
It was, but there are movies that are long and they don't feel long.
Yeah, this feel like you could just sit there for another 2 hours.
When Star Wars Episode 7 ended,
yeah,
I was like, that was it.
Yeah,
I felt like there was another half hour left of that movie.
Yeah,
this one, I felt like there should have been a half hour less of this movie. Like it was so slow. I was so bored just the whole movie. Like I knew it was I knew what was happening in the movie, but I didn't feel like I knew. I felt like I was always missing. Like I felt like I always was missing something.
Yeah, I get that feeling that you're talking about. You know,
and it was just like after once we hit the 2 hour mark, I was like, oh my god. I just sat there and I kind of zoned out too. Like I was just so bored of this movie. I couldn't. You wanna so. That's basically our spoiler-free review right there. You want to hop into just no holds barred, just talk about the movie?
Yeah, sure. I
mean,
I first off,
have you seen the original?
I did not.
I don't think any of us have seen the original. I don't think me, Nick, or you have seen the original.
Well, when did the original come out? I mean,
80s.
Yeah, so that's.
I mean, you still could have seen it.
Yeah, you're right. That's not too before our time.
You saw Star Wars.
Yeah, you got a good point. Yeah, no kidding. So, but that was also a very, Star Wars is a very known movie.
You're right. You're right.
I didn't even know about Blade Runner until this movie was being advertised. So.
Yeah, man. Like, so in the movie, Harrison Ford's character has a daughter with a replicant, which shouldn't have happened. Did you feel like that reveal was great? Like, when they said that the replicant was pregnant, did that hit you? Like, oh my god, a replicant was like? Was it like an oh my god moment for you?
No, for me it wasn't.
I feel like they were trying to be.
Yeah.
I think it's probably because we haven't seen the original, but like when I saw that, I was like, I also felt like I didn't know what I didn't know who the antagonist was.
Yeah,
like I never knew who the bad guy was.
You're right. At first, we kind of thought it was. I kind of thought it was who he was working for.
Right.
The police.
The police, yeah.
And then you start to feel like it's this company. So I'm assuming after even watching it, I'm assuming it was this company.
Yeah.
But I still don't understand even truly what their motives were.
Exactly. Like, I had no idea why they cared so much.
This kid, and I mean. They seemed like they were mad that the police wanted to kill it. So, like, what was your intention? To take it and to help them stop?
I really
kids?
Don't like. And Jared Leto's character felt so pretentious. I feel like that was a point of his character. Yeah. But there's a way to do that and a way to not do that, and I feel like they didn't do that. And like there was just. I know I know like the product placement in this movie was so annoying. I usually don't notice products. I usually just don't notice product placement.
Yeah,
When you have a giant holographic
billboard,
billboard where right in the center of the screen it just says Coca-Cola and it sits on that shot for a solid 5 to 10 seconds. It's like, come on. I really
they got to make their money somewhere.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, they're not getting it from that. Yeah. The one thing I did really like about this movie was the world, like the universe. It had that futuristic look, but it wasn't like the new and shiny futuristic. It was very clearly old and used.
Yeah,
and it felt very alien to me. Which have you seen Alien?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, they're both Scott Ridley. So
that would make sense.
2049 wasn't Scott Ridley, but the original Blade Runner was Scott Ridley. So it's the same. It's like the same type of feeling. So I thought that was really good, and I really liked that a lot. How every scene just looked like it was old and run down, but also like futuristic.
You know what's funny that kind of bothered me though, and I think the date was probably generated from the original movie from the 1980s, but the fact that the movie takes place was it
2049?
Was it 49?
That's why it's called Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah, sorry. Anyways, to me, like I feel like the world they're showing, if they're trying to mimic where our world would be,
right?
Then
I think
just like way out there. I don't feel like that is.
I don't remember when the original took place.
Yeah,
but the original took place in a year that I think it's already happened. So they just, I don't think this is. They're saying that this is the future of our world. This is just the future of that world.
Yeah,
so,
I think that's the take. I finally just had to get that in my head. And stop trying to relate.
Oh yeah, that this is not 20. This is not 30 years in the future. This
exactly.
This is a different universe,
like,
right?
Well, there's no way that the world's gonna look like this in 30 years. I mean, a lot of stuff can happen.
Right.
That's a little stretch.
So what did you know of the original Blade Runner?
Honestly, nothing.
Nothing at all. Did you even know Harrison Ford was in it?
Well, I in the original.
In the original,
no.
You knew nothing of the.
I literally
okay.
Knew
Wow.
Nothing. So
the main conflict. I could be wrong. Like I said, I haven't seen it. I believe the plot of the first one is Harrison Ford is a Blade Runner, so he's killing all these replicants, but he ends up falling in love with one, and that's the whole thing. Is like he is in love with this replicant.
That would make total sense.
Yes. So, man, first off, I thought he was gonna be in this movie way earlier.
Yeah,
he came in like the third act.
Yeah,
he came in at the very end of the movie, and I was like, now you're introducing him? This is.
He was still barely in. All he did was get captured and then go see his daughter.
Exactly. He didn't do anything. I think he had a pretty cool introduction. I think where he just started fighting.
Yeah.
Ryan Gosling's character, which is pretty. What did you think about Ryan Gosling's character?
I felt like he actually played his character pretty well. I know you were saying you felt like what was the word you used?
I don't know.
Oh God. Anyways, I mean, I felt like he did very well at playing off that he's just another what are we calling him?
Replicant.
Replicant. I still have slave stuck in my head for some reason, but he did a very good job playing off that he's a replicant and then starting to really like build these emotions.
Right.
I felt like he was very good showing that through his character, but I do feel like there was just a sense of like I felt
like he didn't care.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I
feel
gonna say like just blah. I don't even know what to.
I felt like anytime Harrison Ford's in a movie now, he doesn't care. Like he's clearly just doing it because he's getting paid. I feel like that's how Harrison Ford is in a lot of these movies. Like man, almost every character felt just so blah.
Yeah,
and like they didn't care. So there are exceptions like that. I don't even know her name, but the hologram that Ryan Gosling's girlfriend.
Yeah,
she felt like she did a good job. And there were some characters that did a good job, but man, this movie, like every performance, just felt so blah.
Honestly, I feel like a lot of the movie was almost just his relationship with that hologram.
Yeah,
I mean, which I don't. No offense, I don't really care.
Exactly,
about,
like it's like they're trying to make us.
But I guess maybe they're trying to kind of show a little bit about like how Harrison Ford, fell in love with. Replicant, and maybe they're just
or replicant.
I said replica, I think, but replicant. So, but maybe they're just trying to show that technology, that they are almost human, even if they're just machines.
Yeah.
So they're just trying to emphasize on that. But-
Man, there was other like, I'm just trying to. We didn't really have time to marinate in our thoughts before recording this. It was literally record and then or watch the movie and then come record. But like there was okay. So I will be a terrible detective because I have a habit of picking up hints but not connecting them to anything. Like, for example, my brother's birthday is July 20th. I know it's July 20th. I'm aware that it's July 20th. If someone asks me, hey, when's your brother's birthday? I will say July 20th. But when it's July 20th, I'll look at my watch, see that it says July 20th, and not put two and two together and realize, oh, today is my brother's birthday. You know what I mean? So there were parts in this movie where I picked up that, like, so before they even said that the replicant was pregnant, or before they even said that that body was pregnant, I was like, oh, that's a replicant. Like, I figured that out. But and then I figured out that, like, when he was talking about the memories and how is this his memory or something. And what I do know about the original Blade Runner is you can not only do you program memories, but you can also like implant memories, like take memories from other people and put them in.
Oh, okay.
I might not know that. That might just be a complete coincidence that I might have put I might have put two things together that don't connect, and then that helped me in the long run.
Yeah.
But so when he was talking about the memory, okay, that's a real memory, but that's not his memory. Like, I had that in my head. There was a part in the movie where I was like, okay, maybe that is his memory. But then when he went to go see that girl and she started crying, because I was like, okay, that's her memory. But it never clicked to me that she is Harrison Ford's daughter.
Well, you were way farther than I was at that point. I mean, I figured she was just someone making memories. I didn't think she had anything to do with all this until
like when she was
near the end.
Yeah, like when she was like when he's like, I don't know if this memory is real or not. And she's like, okay, let me see. And then she's like, yep, that's a real memory. At that moment, I was like, okay, that's her memory.
Yeah, see, in my head, I knew she knew the memory,
yeah.
but I didn't piece it together that it was actually hers.
Like and then it didn't click to me until I was like, oh, I should have seen this coming. Because it said that it was a boy and a girl. And then like later on, Harrison Ford said that he helped like erase everything, like get rid of everything, cover up their tracks. And so it just never clicked to me that this is all like, oh man, I felt so stupid. I was like, I had all the pieces. It's like I had all the pieces of the puzzle in order. All I had to do was just push them together.
You could have saved yourself.
I know. I could have saved myself 2, 3, 4 hours of my day. I don't even know how long this movie was, but it was way longer than it should have been.
Yeah, it was almost it was at least 2.5 hours.
Oh, I'm gonna look that up right now. Keep talking about the movie.
Yeah, I mean, I also, like you were saying, you knew that she was a replicant. Right.
Well, I didn't know she was a replicant. I knew it was her memory.
No, I'm talking about the bones that they found.
Oh, yeah.
And to me, like, that was kind of obvious too. Like, why else would he bury, some
1
of these
hour
bones?
and 64 minutes.
Really?
That's an hour and a half.
It?
That was an hour and a half. Sorry, hour and a half, 2.5 hours.
Okay, I was gonna say.
Yeah, 160. Yeah, because 120 is 2 hours. Yeah. It's 146.
My mind didn't just
246.
register what you just said. I took it as an hour and 64 minutes. Which definitely doesn't make any sense. No, not at all. So, but yeah. So I mean, I pieced that together too. I mean, you're right. There were a lot of things that were thrown out there that really clicked in my head as well. That
right.
And also, I mean, before they told. I mean, they never. When did they actually reveal that was his daughter? I don't think they ever really did
until the tail end.
Yeah, until they actually.
Until the official, I guess the official reveal when he's like, "Let's go meet your daughter," and that was the moment.
Yeah.
But it was like
I think when he was talking to.
They pretty much said it when he was talking to that girl with the one eye.
Yeah,
that's when it was like.
Yeah.
It's not. Well, that was a reveal of it's not him, which
exactly.
I guess they led on everybody to be.
Yeah, which I did. I couldn't believe that. I somewhat believed it, but for some reason in my head, I just always kept thinking that it's not him. Because first off, how would he not have noticed growing up his entire life? Like, what the hell happened?
Well, because I mean, because you don't get your memory until whatever age, right? But if you're like 19, like this is in a futuristic world where you have replicants, you have people who aren't people.
Yeah.
So you could you could assume that in this universe there is some sort of brainwashing that happens, and you kind of see it in the movie too.
Yeah.
So they could have just like made him believe he was a replicant, or something could have happened where he just lost his memory, whatever. But yeah, there was a moment.
But then he's working in the police, and they're trying to kill this child, so they would have already known it was him.
But here's the thing:
he could have become a police officer.
But he thought it was him too.
Yeah.
So
you're
so
right.
clearly something exists in that universe where him being the child is possible and he doesn't realize it.
See, I think he just believed it was him because he had a memory. He thought it was
Right.
his.
Right. That is like that was I think like the I think that was the push that made him
Yeah.
believe it. But if there was no possible way for him to be his son, he wouldn't have believed it. Like if there's no like if someone tells me right now that I'm an alien, like there's no way I'm gonna believe that because because currently in the universe we're living in, there's no technology that at least I know of that could make me have all of these memories from growing up, and I just have been an alien the whole time.
Gotta be more open-minded, Ann.
I know, honestly. Everybody, I'm from a different. I'm a Martian. Everyone, I've been living on this planet for 19 years. I forgot how old I was. Almost 20 years. 20 years on Monday. Actually, 20 years in the day this episode comes out. So clearly something exists in this universe where it's possible for him to for memories to be taken. Like if you can give somebody memories,
obviously
certainly you can take them away.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I was watching the movie and I was like, there's no way it's him, but is it him?
Yeah.
I just kept thinking. I was like, I really don't think it's going to be. I guess Joe is his name. I don't think it's going to be Joe, but I hate saying. I'm just going to keep saying Ryan Gosling. I think it's like I was like, it's not Ryan Gosling, but is it?
Yeah, I had the same type of mindset to where I couldn't believe it. Like,
Yeah,
my mind was just saying, "There's no way it's him."
It would have been too. It would have been too Indiana Jones, I think, if it was actually him.
Too Indiana.
What did you feel that reveal though when they were like, finally, it's not him?
What finally revealed that it wasn't him.
Yeah.
It's funny because
When
do you mean like perfectly defined it to where I knew it wasn't
Yes,
him,
yeah.
or just
Yeah,
I
yeah.
felt okay? I mean, honestly, I didn't. It wasn't until he was talking to that lady with one eye that
Right.
I finally knew that
Right, but
for sure
what
it
I'm
wasn't
asking,
him.
so that is the reveal in the movie of
Yeah.
when it's officially not him. So I'm asking, what did you think of
Oh,
at that moment in the movie? What were you thinking?
Honestly, I was not too surprised. I was surprised about that it wasn't even a guy, but then I realized what had happened, that he had went in and probably when he did the cover up, he changed it, he switched it so that way they would be looking for the wrong gender, which makes total sense. But it didn't hit me really at all.
Yeah,
it just
once they said that, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I was right. Okay,
yeah, basically it was like, okay, so what I originally thought was the case, and we can move on now.
Yeah,
and go find the actual person that we're looking for.
What'd you think of Dave Bautista at the beginning?
David. Oh, you mean no.
The first replicant in the movie? Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I love Dave Bautista.
There's really not too much to think about him. I mean, obviously you could tell that he had very human traits.
Yeah.
And was, in my opinion, not a replicant. He was human. You know, he obviously, which was weird because when they were talking about like what could have happened when they were examining the bones, they're like, "Oh, what could have happened to the baby? Could have ate it." I'm like, "Ate it? What do you mean he could have ate it? Is that something replicants do? They just like eat people?" Because so far I don't get that vibe at all.
I think he was just. Well, I think in the universe it's very clear that humans don't like replicants.
Yeah.
So I think that guy was like making a joke based on that. It's a very a misunderstanding thing. Like humans don't like replicants because they think they're not because they know they're not human and they think they're savage and they don't have emotion and stuff. So
I see.
It's like not to compare it to a DreamWorks film, but it's like a Shrek type deal where they just think he's this horrible savage creature. You know what I mean?
You're right. Yeah, that's a good example. It makes sense. So I
heard you like movies. The only podcast where we compare Blade Runner to Shrek.
Yeah.
Maybe that should be our barometer for movies. Is it better or worse than Shrek?
I'm trying to think. There's probably not too many movies who would be better than Shrek that come out nowadays. There's some shitty movies coming out nowadays. Right. But what was I saying now? So, I mean, he obviously did not match what he was right off the bat showing me that replicants are human, and that
Yeah, exactly.
they're basically
Which I
being
think
hunted down, and they're not these, just robots or whatever you want to consider them, just an item to be used. And I could see where the movie was going to go straight from there, that obviously we're going to see that these replicants have human emotions, and we're just discriminating against them,
exactly.
I guess you could say.
Which I think they did a really good job of that. I think showing that, right in the beginning, right in the first scene, where this replicant is like, he's clearly like, oh, damn it, come on. Like, I'm just living my life. I'm not doing anything, etc., etc.
Yeah.
I think that was a really good opening for the movie.
So, but he still knew what was going to happen.
Oh yeah,
too.
Yeah.
So.
And I think I kind of chuckled a bit when he was like bashing him against the wall, and then it cut to the other side of the wall, and it just kind of like it kept moving outward.
Showing the wall. Just
yeah.
First off, I thought that wall was like a
Rubber
sheetrock wall.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then like he pushes him through. It's like a concrete wall. Like what the. I was like, this. I don't know, but
yeah. Oh, and there was also There was also in the first movie. So in the original Blade Runner, apparently there's like 3 different versions of the movie.
Yeah.
So in 2 of the 3 versions, it's kind of left somewhat ambiguous as to whether Harrison Ford's character is a replicant or not. Like he's not sure. It's kind of a.
It's funny you say that, because I actually wasn't sure with this movie if he was a replicant or not. Not knowing the history of the past movies,
right.
I kind of had it in my head that he was a replicant, but then after all the fighting and everything, that kind of
yeah. I don't
think
he's a replicant, and I think the biggest reason is because he had a child. Like I don't like. I know a replicant had a child, but I don't think that 2 replicants can have a child. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I think it has to be 1 human and 1 replicant. So that's the only reason why I say that.
And you saying that actually just made me think of near the end there when he was talking to, I don't know the guy's name.
Jared Leto.
Yeah, is that the guy, the head of the corporation,
the blind
or whatever?
One?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So when he was talking to him,
that's not his character's name.
Yeah,
It's
I know.
just,
It's
okay.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't know actors.
That's fine.
I'm horrible with
You'll
their
learn.
names.
You'll
learn. But he started talking, and I'm curious if it was trying to throw a little hint at, or if he was just messing with him, where he was saying maybe that you were just designed to fall in love with her at that stage, and that was.
I thought he was saying that she was designed in that way.
Oh, maybe.
I thought she was saying like she was programmed perfectly so that you would fall like she. So the AI, like the hologram girlfriend for Ryan Gosling's character, there was a billboard for her, and it says like she'll say everything you want to hear, all this type of like she'll be like the perfect girlfriend for whoever buys her type of thing. So I think what was her name? Rachel? I think Rachel was like a prototype for that. So she was like made to be everything Harrison Ford's character had ever wanted. So that's why I think I could be totally wrong. I could be completely interpreting the scene incorrectly.
I didn't piece that together. I know the billboard you're talking about now too. I just didn't put that together.
I mean, I could be completely reading the scene wrong, completely interpreting it wrong. Man, I'm not good with words.
Oh, me either. So we'll just.
I don't think Nick's that great. Yeah. Ah, man, Nick needs to talk more. Honestly, he's just sitting there quietly. But man, it was like, yeah. What do you? Any other thoughts on the movie? Any other things that stood out to you?
One thing that stood out is I'm pretty sure the hologram's name that he had.
Yeah.
Her name was Joe. So
her name was Joe.
Yeah, because that last billboard of the big hologram, like he was looking up, they were called Joe. So
wait a minute. Okay, I thought his name was Joe because when Harrison Ford asked for his name, he said a serial number. He goes, "That's not a name. That's a serial number."
Yeah. Well, he said Joe because she called him Joe when she was saying you're special, and then she said you should have a name. She called him Joe.
Okay.
So I don't know if she
what's
just
her name
pulled.
though?
I don't. Well, I don't think they ever say her name, but I think she just pulled that out because that's her like design.
I'm gonna look this up right now.
So I was that was one little thing that I'm not sure if that's the way it is or if I just kind of pieced that together when it didn't actually go together.
Did you feel bad when she quote unquote died?
No.
No.
No, I don't know why I didn't.
It was like
I'm actually usually a pretty emotional person.
Is her name Joy?
Movies.
I think it's Joy. It's Joi.
Oh, maybe. I thought that was an exclamation point on the billboard.
Robin Wright's in this movie too. She's in The Princess Bride, my favorite movie of all time.
Oh. No, that's your favorite all time?
Princess Bride?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And that's apparently it's getting re-released in theaters. So just warning you now, when that happens, that is the movie we'll be seeing and reviewing.
That's fine.
Just
I
letting
have
you
no
know.
issues.
Just letting you know.
Like I said, I'm usually an emotional type watching movies.
Oh, it's so dude. That movie is
I don't
so
mind
good.
going to see some emotional ones.
I can spend hours talking about that movie, so that'll be a good episode. Yeah, when she died, like when they said when that whole thing happened where it was like you need to upload me onto the thing, whatever it was called.
Yeah.
And then he's like, no, if this anything happens to this, you're gonna die. And she goes, I know. I was like, okay, so she's going to die.
Yeah, I was going to say, I basically accepted right there she's going to die because they're just basically playing at it right now, trying to make it dramatic by stating, oh, this is something serious, and then it happens, and we're supposed to react. But
did one of the replicant that worked for Jared Leto's character, I don't know her name, I don't know the actress's name.
I don't.
She cried all the time. Did you notice that?
Yeah, I did.
She just cried all the time.
I'm very puzzled about her because I feel like we didn't really know enough about her.
Yeah, and I didn't know. Like you were saying, we didn't know Jared Leto's motivation. When that replicant was made and was covered in whatever that stuff, he's like just talking to it for like 20 minutes and then just kills it.
Yeah.
What?
I know. I kind of thought like when he was touching her belly, and then he cut open her belly, and then he did say something afterwards. He said, "Get that for me." He said something for her to like go get that, and I don't know if he was talking about just like
I think
get
he was
rid of
talking
the
about.
body.
I thought he was talking about go find the kid.
Oh, maybe. See, I almost interpreted it like he just cut open her body. Maybe he was trying to create replicants that could have babies or something.
I think he was, but I
guess would make sense, seeing how he's trying to find this kid and figure out how that happened. But
I really don't know the motivations of really any character in this movie.
No, the only thing I understood is that Harrison Ford had a daughter, and he wanted to.
That's all I got.
He would love to see her again, and that's what we got. And happy ending.
What, man? I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I didn't like this movie. Oh God, it was.
And you were so psyched for it too.
I was pretty excited for it because I was like, oh, but I just wanted an action movie.
Yeah.
I don't remember the last action movie I watched. Probably Guardians of the Galaxy, but I just wanted an action movie and I didn't get. I guess maybe that's my fault, but even still. I've gone into movies expecting them to be completely different and really enjoyed them. But this one, it just felt way too slow.
Maybe there'll be something better next week.
Maybe. Oh, yeah, maybe. I think that's it. Any other words? Any other thing to say on Blade Runner 2049?
No, I think that probably covers it for Blade Runner. Or actually, do you want to give it a...
Yeah, I just want to read what Nick said about it.
Okay.
So Nick said, quote, "So I thought it was really good. I thought it was a really good movie considering I haven't seen the first one and I understood the movie well. It took me a bit of time to understand, but I think I know what it was what it was about mostly." So he's not sure.
Yeah, he's like he's
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
No, well, like he liked the movie.
Yeah.
But he's pretty sure he knows what it was about, which I think is pretty funny. Ryan Gosling is great at not showing emotions, which I thought was funny. Watch the movie The Nice Guys. He plays like a hitman along with, what's his name? Along with, oh my God, what's his name?
Let's look it up.
Yeah, you're right. He plays a hitman in a movie along with another actor. It's a really funny action comedy. You should watch it. It's really really entertaining. But he did a really good job in that. Yeah, he did a really good job in that.
So.
Nick said mediocre at worst. What do you say?
Honestly, it's funny. After I finished watching it, I felt that it was maybe mediocre at best. But yeah, I'm gonna stick with that.
You say mediocre at best?
Yeah.
Yeah, I say mediocre at best. It was not good.
I mean, I wanted to like it. I really did.
I did too.
It
took it just took way too long to get into anything.
It really never even got into anything.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I mean,
the climactic battle of the scene, I did enjoy when he was fighting that other replicant.
Yeah.
But I feel like that went on for way too long. Like he got stabbed. Like I don't know how he died. Like I know he got stabbed a bunch of times, but he got stabbed all throughout the movie. But when he got stabbed, he just walked it off.
Yeah.
Like I don't understand. Whatever.
Well, I mean,
Whatever.
I still don't fully understand like the anatomy of the replicants.
Yeah, you're
And,
right.
I
I
mean,
don't
it
either.
seems like the humans, because when they had the bones, I mean, it seemed like it
They're just
deteriorated just
well.
like
It
a
says
human
like
would.
it says at the beginning of the movie.
So-
There's like text at the beginning of the movie. It says like
Yeah,
replicants, like they have heightened strength, and they're basically just better humans.
Yeah, just improved.
Just
on
can't have
humans.
kids normally,
Yeah.
and don't need to eat regular food. I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah. Did we see? Yeah. What was he?
It was some
that
wi-
just because he was living in some.
No,
like-
he is a replicant.
No, I know that,
Yeah, yeah.
but I wasn't sure if that was just like the food then, because it seems like there's not a lot of animals, so I'm assuming
Oh.
the food.
Oh,
I mean-
maybe. Do replicants need to eat? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't understand. Anyways, mediocre at best.
Yeah.
Don't go see Blade Runner. It's too long. See a different movie.
Yeah. I
Go see
agree.
Logan Lucky or any other movie. Go see the Lego Ninjago movie. That's really good. All right, Nick isn't here. All right, Andrew. What movie are we seeing next week?
So I'm actually really excited to go see The Foreigner.
Okay, I don't even know.
The
I've definitely heard of it.
Do you enjoy? I'm assuming you've seen movies with Jackie
Yes.
Chan in it. So
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. All right. Okay,
I
I'm
was
on
gonna
board.
say, I know when I mentioned
I'm
that,
on board.
you'd probably remember what it was, but yeah. So I mean, we haven't seen too many movies. I can't remember when the last movie with Jackie Chan was. It might have even been Rush Hour or something.
Honestly, I think the last movie that I saw, I think, was Spy Next Door with Jackie Chan.
I have that movie.
Yeah,
actually.
I think I do too somewhere. I also, man, Rush Hour is great.
Yeah,
Rush
Rush
Hour
is
3 is-
Yeah,
oh.
those are some definitely hilarious and good movies. But yeah, The Foreigner looks like.
Have you seen? What was it? The one where he plays like the drunken master. Is it just called Drunken Master?
I don't know if I have
Oh,
seen.
we gotta
it.
watch
I
that.
can't think of a
We gotta
movie
watch
where
that.
he's a drunken master.
We gotta watch
So-
that.
All right, find it. I'll watch
All right,
it.
all right.
So, anyways, the Foreigner. So the movie's kind of along the lines of like I guess you could say like Taken and stuff, where something
Right,
happens. And
okay.
he's kind of a normal guy now, but he used to be some
Right.
top agent or
Okay.
in some type of agency. And but instead of his kid getting kidnapped, his kid actually gets killed in a bombing.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, no spoilers. Well, unless you consider the preview spoilers.
Which I do. Which I've gone
so,
over.
Unfortunately, I'm spoiling everything. No, but so he to me this is kind of different for Jackie Chan. I feel like a lot of the roles I've seen Jackie Chan in are serious to an extent.
Oh,
I mean, he's
like-
always been serious, but I don't feel like it's been like this serious. Like
So,
I feel like this is really intense.
I think I
It's
know where
him
you're coming
being a
from.
Father.
Yeah,
you
like
know.
he's always kind of been, like he's. Oh, it's so hard to explain.
Yeah, I don't.
He's lighthearted.
Yes.
He's usually lighthearted.
Correct.
He plays a lighthearted role, and you're saying in this he it's like intense.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
That was probably hitting it right in the
Yeah.
head there, where he's not as lighthearted in this because he's angry.
Yeah.
Somebody killed his kid.
Yeah.
And
You're
wants
telling me
answers.
he wasn't angry in Spy Next Door.
He
He was furious. He was furious.
But yeah, so I mean, obviously he's at first he's still kind-hearted in a sense. He tries to just go to the police. He's
Right.
like, where are you guys at? And he just tries to find out what's going on. And when he sees that they're not doing anything, him with his background takes it into his own hand.
Right.
So this definitely looks like there's going to be some good action scenes in this. So I think if you're looking for
I'm
some
excited.
action, yeah, I think
All right.
this might give you your
All you had to say was Jackie Chan, and I was on board.
yeah, him or
Jet Li.
yeah. I
Yeah.
almost said Bruce Lee. I'm like, no, that's
Or
not it.
Oh no.
As much as I'd love to see a movie with Bruce Lee.
Yeah, there was a movie, Enter the Dragon. No, not Enter the Dragon. Something the Dragon, but it was like a biopic about Bruce Lee that came
Oh,
out
yeah.
recently. What's that other? Damn it, he played Chiro in
Who?
Rogue One.
Oh,
The blind guy
okay.
in Rogue One. He's a good
Oh
actor too.
yeah. I
I
know
can't
who you're
remember his
talking
name
about.
though. God damn it. Anyways, okay, cool. The
It's
Foreigner.
funny how you remember his name in the movie, but
Well,
that's usually how I am. I can remember
Yeah.
the movie name, the
well,
character's name. but never
when
their
it's an
real
actor that
name.
I've never heard of before,
yeah.
the first movie I see them in is what I remember them by usually. But yeah, Foreigner next week sounds good. So
Sounds good.
Andrew, what else you been up to?
Lately, I've been doing a lot of watching One Piece.
Yeah.
So it's been I started watching it maybe about a month ago. I'm about at episode 350.
So you're about halfway through right now.
A little less. I think there's like 500 more episodes to go.
Goodness gracious.
So yeah, no, it was a little tough to get through at first, and I actually don't think that's because of the story or anything.
Yeah,
I mean,
just the animation.
It is building up, so there's not many characters at first, so that does
Which
affect
is with
it too.
That's with anything really.
Yeah, but the animation, I mean, because when you think about the first season of One Piece, had to be at least like 15 years ago.
Oh yeah, something like that.
At this point,
After 800 plus episodes,
yeah.
Mother of God.
Yeah, I don't know how they're still going. But then again,
fillers on fillers on filler.
Yeah.
I don't know how many fillers are in One Piece.
I
think One Piece.
I was very pleased so far. There hasn't been any there are fillers, but as long as I don't consider them fillers that like I can't bear to watch,
Right.
then I'm okay with them.
Right.
Unlike I've also watched all of Naruto, where Naruto has some pretty.
Naruto.
I think Naruto probably is the worst when it comes to fillers.
So there's a website called Filler Lists, I think.
Oh yeah.
Where you can like look up an anime and it'll tell you how many fillers there are.
Yeah.
I think One Piece has like a tiny amount for how long it is.
Oh yeah.
There's some animes that literally have none because they're only one season.
Yeah, obviously.
Naruto is 52% filler.
Yep, I believe it.
It is more filler
the
than
entire
actual
Naruto
content.
before Shippuden. Almost half of that was fillers.
Yeah, the whole last season was filler.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and Bleach does have its share of fillers.
Bleach doesn't have that many.
But
For how long it is, it doesn't have that many.
I actually think it might have more than they're writing on there. It's just that because they feel so much like the main storyline, and that's how I also felt about Bleach too with their fillers.
Well, what the website considers a filler is anything not in the manga.
Oh,
So if it's not in the manga,
yeah.
it's a filler.
Yeah. Okay. So I've never read the mangas.
Okay.
I've always liked to just watch stuff. So, I don't know what's not in the mangas.
Do you watch dubbed or subbed?
I always watch everything subbed.
Yeah?
Sorry, I almost said dubbed. Yeah, I don't watch anything dubbed if I can avoid it.
Really?
There are a couple that are exceptions just because I've always watched, before I got into anime, I watched them in dubbed. And
Did you ever watch Code Lyoko?
No.
You never watched Code Lyoko?
No.
Where like it's a bunch of like high school kids at a boarding school and they go in like inside a virtual world and like have to save the world from a virus every episode.
It sounds interesting.
Oh, it's great, dude. It's so good. This was like classic Cartoon Network right here. This show. And it was a French anime.
Yeah,
really good.
I'll have to
Really
check
good.
it out.
It's like 3 seasons long or something.
I'm always, yeah, I mean, that's nothing.
Oh, no,
I've tried to, watching One Piece, I only started watching it because I basically watched
Time is now changed for you.
every other major anime. I mean, I've watched Bleach, Hunter x Hunter, Naruto. I watched Fairy Tail.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
I just started last night actually. Blue Exorcist.
Oh, that's a good one.
First episode I watched last night, and it like that took like that didn't actually introduce anything of the show, like of what the show's going to be about until like the last maybe 5 minutes of the first episode.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. No, that's.
I've also been watching a show on Comedy Central called Nathan for You.
Nathan for You.
Oh my God! Listen, you got to watch like at least a couple episodes of this. So, it's this guy Nathan who has a business degree, and he's going around to small businesses to help them get more business. But he does it in the most ridiculous ways you could imagine. Like one of the things he does. Okay.
I can imagine this.
Like one of the things he does. I'm trying to think of a really good one. There was one like this pet store was trying to get more business, obviously, and so the point that he had made is when people's pets die, they want to get a new pet. So he's like, we could advertise in a pet cemetery, okay? So pet cemeteries won't let you advertise in their cemetery, but there's nothing against putting something on a gravestone. So he catches
dies like a huge
and he goes to the guy who owns it, and he's like, "Can I bury anything here?" He goes, "Yeah, anything you consider a pet, anything you had as a pet, you can bury here." He catches a fly, take cares of it for like a week until it dies, and then buries it. He holds a funeral for this fly and gets a gravestone bigger than you could ever imagine. It's like a 6-foot-tall gravestone that says Pet Mania with the address and the phone number for that pet store, and puts it in the pet cemetery. Dude, this show is hilarious. Everything he does is like
I was like, I could already see where this was going, right?
Like-
When you start talking about the connection between buying a pet and
yeah.
after a pet
Oh,
dies.
and there's another episode where and everything he does is completely legal too. Like
yeah.
it's insane. So
Just
one of the other
morally on a
I don't know, maybe not morally, but another thing he does is there was a electronic shop trying to sell TV, but they couldn't compete with Best Buy's price matching.
yeah.
So they listed their TVs at $1, then went to Best Buy to buy the TVs for $1. But they didn't want anybody to buy the TVs at their store for $1, like while they were going out to buy the Best Buy TVs.
Yeah.
So they made a strict dress code where you had to dress formally, like a suit and tie.
Yeah.
They put a door in between. They put a door in between the TVs. They put the TVs at the end of a hallway, and they put a door there.
Yeah.
Then they put a wall with a 2-foot tall door that you had to crawl through to get in there. And then after that, in between that door and the second door of the TVs, they had a live alligator.
What the
So everybody just was like, "Nope, I'm not doing it," and then just left. So they couldn't sell any of the TVs, but they went to Best Buy. Dude, I'm telling you, this show is amazing.
that sounds comical, honestly.
Dude, every episode, like, you know how when you're watching something alone, the most you laugh is kind of just like a bit of a chuckle.
Yeah.
I am laughing out loud every episode. Like, it is hysterical. I promise you, it's good, man.
Maybe I'll have to check that out.
You have
too.
to check it out, dude. It's so
I
damn
don't know
good.
when I have time, seeing how One Piece is fucking.
All right, but there's 10 episodes a season, and they're on the 4th season right now.
Yeah.
Like, it's half-hour episodes. It goes by so quick because it's just so fun. But yeah, I think that's it for the episode today. Anything else you want to say?
No, that sounds good to me.
All right, follow us on Twitter at SIHYL Movies, SIHYL Movies. We don't have a Facebook or anything. Go subscribe to my other podcast on YouTube. So I Heard You Like Wrestling. Go subscribe to Nick's other podcast, So I Heard You Like Sports, where we talk about wrestling and sports, respectively. Anything you want to plug, Andrew?
No, I
No?
can't
All
really
right.
think of anything.
All right, that's it. So thank you all for listening to this episode. Next week, we'll be talking about The Foreigner and any other news that comes out. In the meantime, my name is Ian.
This is Andrew.
And remember, watch more movies.